versus
I looked at him
Percival.
bewildered. What is my position? Am I not your son? That woman stomped all over me. Was I supposed to smile and thank her
Believe in
for it?
victory.
He said Kelsey
Battle
was
one.
immature because no one had ever dared to stand up to her. Well, she was about to learn a lesson. I was going to make her regret what she did at that engagement party for the rest of her life. Helen tried to smooth things over, saying I should consider Caleb's position. He deliberately messed around with my fiancée to humiliate me. Why should I consider him? Caleb lowered his eyes, looking hurt. I was wrong, but you can't force love. Kelsey was always the one who initiated it. I just went along with it to keep the peace between us. What a master of manipulation. I couldn't help but laugh. Chloe shot me a venomous look, rushing to Caleb's side. Stop being so self-righteous. If you had never come back, he and Kelsey would be together. If I hadn't gotten lost, there would be no Caleb. He's my replacement. Now the replacement is trying to run the show. What is wrong with you? Crash. Arthur threw an ashtray at me. It grazed my cheek and shattered on the floor. You ungrateful brat. What are you talking about? Caleb is a fine young man. How could he possibly be your replacement? His reaction was so extreme, it planted a seed of doubt in me. Now Helen was angry too. Her gentle demeanor gone. He was with me all those years you were gone. You will not speak about him like that, he said. Chloe stared at me, her eyes full of pity. You can't compare it to Caleb. Even Victoria, who had been silent, spoke up. Ethan, you went too far this time. It made her unbearably sad, and her eyes filled with tears. Ethan, I'm such a burden on you. Your life shouldn't be like this. Huff, I said, puffing out my chest, forcing it. Don't be ridiculous. As soon as you're better, we're getting out of this hellhole. At that, Lily's eyes lit up. Let's go live by the ocean. Let's go live by the ocean. The ocean? I was confused. She'd never mentioned liking the ocean. Lily pulled out her phone and showed me picture after picture of oceanfront views. It's so beautiful, and you can feel the sea breeze. It's so much quieter than the city. She smiled her special smile, her eyes full of a longing so deep it was as if she were already there. I teased her. I hear rent is pretty expensive by the ocean. Yeah, renting isn't a great idea. A flicker of sadness crossed her face. Go buy a place. Lily was shocked. Where will we get that kind of money? I did a quick search. A 2-bedroom condo would be around $400,000. We'll find a way. I told her not to worry, that things would get better. That night, I fell asleep in a chair by her bed. That was home. Hey, a couple of days later, Kelsey actually showed up at the garage. Her makeup was perfect, her lipstick flawless. She had clearly put a lot of effort into her appearance. She told me she wanted the wedding to proceed as planned and for me to marry into her family as soon as possible. I was stunned. I had assumed things were over between us. Had she lost her mind? There was no way I was marrying her. In my eyes, Kelsey was a public buzz. Marrying a woman like that. I need a hat rack for all the horns I can wear. But I didn't refuse her outright. I just told her I wouldn't be the one marrying her. We can get married, but you'll have to move in with the Hayes family. I said it deliberately, knowing she would never agree. If it were Caleb that she was marrying, maybe she'd consider it. But me, never. That was the whole point of it. Kelsey was an only child, an heir to the throne fortune. She would never leave the family. Our conversation ended on a sour note. As she left, she shot me a nasty look and threatened to make me pay. Her idea of making me pay involved a group of thugs. 7 or 8 of them showed up at the garage, trying to start trouble. Kelsey and Caleb stood off to the side, smirking. Bro, this has nothing to do with it. I just came with Kelsey to see what was going on, Caleb said, his voice dripping with false sincerity. He was a natural, but today was not their day. Because Julian Croft, who got into New York, was standing right behind me. His expression really started sucking up, bowing and scraping. Mr. Croft, an honor, a real honor. Honor this, Julian snarled, forcing both Kelsey and Caleb to crawl between their legs. They were humiliated, but they had no choice. After they were gone, I thanked Julian. He brought up the custom building, a 750 horsepower. It's being flown in next week. I wanted to work on it. I trusted him. Julian said if I refused to give, he'd find someone else and leave me. He gave me 2 more days to think about it. This time I hesitated. Caleb went home furious. He couldn't touch Julian, so he directed all his anger at me. When the family heard what happened, they weren't happy. Chloe wanted to teach me a lesson. He just stood there and watched Caleb get humiliated. We raised an animal, she said, her eyes like poison needles. Arthur's eyes were cold in the dark. Caleb, you are the heir to this man. You cannot be disgraced. That brat must pay. Only Helen hesitated. Ethan, he's our son, after all. Chloe cut her off. Mom, he doesn't even consider us his family. Why do you still care about that monster? So what are you going to do? Helen asked. Chloe's plan was to have my legs broken to avenge Caleb. If he's crippled, the family will take care of him. Arthur thought that was too cruel. He turned to Victoria, who had been sitting quietly. Vicky, what do you think? His eldest daughter had always been a level headed, and she was the one who brought Ethan back. Victoria looked at Caleb. What was Kelsey's reaction? Caleb said Kelsey had been crying the whole way home, vowing to make Ethan regret it, to make him come crawling back. Victoria understood. A plan began to form in her mind. In that case, here's what we'll do. As she laid out her plan, a sinister grin spread across Caleb's face. It was evening when I got the call from the hospital. The doctor told me, his voice full of regret, that Lily had died suddenly from heart failure. The words hit me like a physical blow. The phone slipped from my hand and clattered to the floor. I ran to the hospital, bursting through the door of her room. Time stopped. Lily was lying there, perfectly still. Her eyes were closed, her long lashes casting soft shadows on her cheeks. Her brow was slightly furrowed, as if she were just deeply asleep. I moved closer, my hand trembling as I reached out to touch her face. Her skin was cold and hard. I couldn't accept it. My whole world was collapsing. It wasn't until a nurse told me what had happened that I demanded to see the 24-hour security footage from her private room. I watched as Caleb and Chloe stormed in, hurling